I literally have no reason to be crying right now, but like, this boy messaged me saying he started talking to another girl, and he was like, basically said like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, like I just want to let you know. And I'm like, I kind of already knew, but like it still fucking hurts. But he told me he didn't want a relationship, so like why the fuck am I upset about it? But I think the thing that I'm upset about is like, boys never pick me. I'm never the one that they want to have a relationship with. Because literally, I always talk to boys, and then they get in a relationship, like, not that long after. Like, you want a relationship, you just don't want it with me. And that hurts.
You know, the thing about these situations, guys, is make no mistake, these ladies could go out here and get a relationship if they wanted to. But what they're actually doing is they're shopping out of their price range. Okay, all of these girls, oh, I can't seem to get a boyfriend, right? It's like, maybe that guy who's 6 foot and 6 figures, maybe he's not going to commit to you. Maybe you should shop within your price range. You got all these ladies out here at the moment getting brokenhearted because Chad won't commit to them. Why would he commit to you? And then they want to turn around and say, okay, well, I can't seem to get a boyfriend. Right? It comes down to your choices, ladies. If you want to go out here and you want to chase that guy, expect him to never commit to you. Okay? You will see this time and time again, gentlemen. These ladies will literally be out here just continuously chasing Chad, and then having issues when he doesn't commit to you. It's a very predictable story, gentlemen. These girls, they'll literally do it to themselves, and they'll be like, "Oh, Queen, know your worth. You shouldn't chase a guy like that. Know your worth." And that exact same girl that's giving that advice will be doing the same thing. But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, you already know the drill. We're going to be looking at a couple of videos and a couple of articles. But before we crack into it, quick announcement, gentlemen. We are hosting an art competition for the show. So if you are interested in entering, it ends on September 30th. And if you want to know the theme and the details for it, the link to that will be in the description, as well as the Discord and the pinned comment in all likelihood. The show is kind of getting a bit stagnant with the scenes that we switch between, guys. So what we're looking for artwork that can be used as different scenes. And like I said, if you're interested in entering, finding out more, the full details will be in the description. Please make sure you read that before entering. There are cash prizes, guys. So if you're first place, $350 US, second place, $175, third is $100, fourth to 10th also get honorable mentions. And as well, if your artwork is used on the show, guys, for wherever it is used, you will also be credited. So if I use it on every show, you'll be credited on every video. So if you're interested in that, like I said, the link will be in the description. And as always, just the regular announcements, gentlemen. Make sure you join the locals and the Discord links in the description, okay? If this channel gets taken down for any reason, you will be notified in both of those places, because YouTube does not like this sort of content, gentlemen. We've gotten we're on a warning right now, so I don't know if this channel will be around for a week. I don't know if it'll be around for 3 years. Who the hell knows? So make sure you're in the locals and the Discord. Both of those are totally free to join. But let's just crack back in with today's show, gentlemen. And just be careful of your ears right now, because switching between TikToks, some of them can be really loud. So let's just give it a moment.
Big Sis here to help all my baddies remember their worth and get rid of the boys in their life. Tell them I'm dating for keeps with the intention of marriage. After that, you'll never hear from them again. Which is good, because they don't deserve a prize like you.
Yeah, guys, a prize like you. You notice how in almost every one of these videos, gentlemen, it's like the girl's just always the prize, right? And look, that's great. You want to have some self-confidence. First of all, I don't think it's true self-confidence, but look, you want to go out here and you want to have some level of confidence. That's totally fine. But look, all of this stuff, guys, is just arrogance. It's entitlement. Okay, you're not deserving of anything. People are not deserving of things by default. People want to walk around at the moment thinking that they're just entitled to respect from other people for no reason. You know, it's like, oh, we're just supposed to give respect. We're supposed to validate everyone else's feelings. Everyone's truth is the same, and it's all well and good. Like, we as men, we know, and this is a point that I make very often on the channel, we know that, look, in order for you to be valued as a guy, you actually have to bring something. You have to produce something. You have to make something. You have to be something. You have to earn something. Okay? But on all of these videos that we watch, it's all about me, me, me. It's all about what can I get from other people? And you know what? If other people don't give it to me, then that says something about their character, and it doesn't say anything about my character. You notice that? It's like the burden of quote unquote being moral, the burden of providing and that making you a good person. All that stuff seems to be on men, right? And the ladies are just out here saying, okay, well, we are the table, and then they get really sad when they can't get things like engagement rings and all that. If you watch the previous video, the one before this, like they get real sad. Oh, how come the men aren't committing to me anymore? How come the men aren't doing the things that they used to be doing? It's like, man, all of this stuff, it just paints a very funny story. And we got another very short TikTok coming up here, guys. Check out this one.
I told my mom about you. You can't not text me back. I told my mom about you. You can't not text me back.
Yeah, gentlemen, because we're just supposed to commit. You know, the hilarious part is these girls will, what they'll do is they will continuously get into situationships. Now, this is a term that we've used before on the channel, and basically what a situationship is, it's a relationship that can't be defined. In other words, the man is not committing to the girl. Okay, so you'll get all these girls saying, oh, I'm in a situationship, or if you ask them if they're single, they're not really sure. I'm sure if you've seen that, this is the kind of stuff that happens on Fresh and Fit a lot, right? Where they ask the girls and they say, hey, what's your relationship status? And then the girl kind of gives a shaky answer. And we as men, we look at that and we think to ourselves, how are you giving a shaky answer? It's are you single or are you not? And truth be told, gentlemen, a lot of these girls, like I would make the argument, and this is one that's been around on this side of the internet for quite a while now, but girls are never truly really single. Okay? I mean, excuse me, they're never taken. Excuse me, is what I mean to say. Most of these girls out here are single. I don't care if they're in a relationship. I don't care if they're in a situationship. People will leave if there's a bigger and better deal. Okay, and the funny part about that is, like, I got a donation from a guy the other day. Shout out to you, man. I very much appreciate it. And he said you can leave like a message in the like the donations thing, and he left a message in there, and he was saying how women, they aren't typically interested in him, but when they find out that he makes six figures, oh, then all of a sudden he becomes very interesting. And now, am I saying that to say that every lady in all stages of her life are looking for money? No, but it's very interesting to note that when people perceive you as more, whether that be, what they're looking for in the moment, then all of a sudden they're very willing to move away from their partners or the things that they care about. It's almost like girls' morals especially are very bendable, depending on what they need in the moment. So all this like I love you crap, man, it falls out the window very fast. One example that I've kind of used on the channel ages ago, man, was like, I want you to imagine a situation like this. Let's just say you are let me think about the ages here. Let me say, okay, you are a 22-year-old man. Okay, you've got a nice job, you're six figures and you're 6 foot plus. And you see a couple together, both 19 years old. Okay, you've got a 19-year-old lady, and she's just broke. She's in university, college, whatever the case may be. And then her boyfriend, he's broke. He's got no license. He's kind of short. He doesn't take fantastic care of himself. And let's just add on top, he validates the girl. He tells her he's beautiful all of the day. I want you to imagine in your head just how damn easy it would be for you to take that man's girl. Let's not kid ourselves, guys. Let's not ignore reality here, okay? It would be very easy for you to take that guy's girl. Okay, and the funny part about that is that girl would probably be in that relationship telling the guy, oh, I love you, oh, I care about you, oh, all this and all that. But when a bigger and better deal comes along, then things to get a little bit shaky. Okay, I personally am of the opinion, gentlemen, that no one's not single. If you get what I'm saying, like everyone kind of has a price, and that may be a bit cynical for a lot of the new people to the channel. Maybe you don't quite get that, which is totally fine. And I'm not saying you have to be as cynical as me, guys, but that's just my perspective on it. Maybe some of you share, but in society at the moment, it certainly looks like we got a lot of monkey branching going on, and a lot of people out here thinking that they deserve better while they're in relationships. But I'm going to see what kind of articles we have pulled up here today for you, gentlemen. You know what, this is actually a fantastic one for us to talk about, because I feel as though something we're talking about here today is women being in competition with each other. Now, the title of this article is, My Very Beautiful Friend, who's a 22-year-old female, invited me out clubbing recently. I don't want to go because every night out with her ruins a 20-year-old female's self-esteem. We met at uni, age 20 and 18. She's extremely attractive. Nearly every boyfriend or crush I've had has preferred her. It's mostly not even her fault. She is just extremely stunning and I am average. She is so attractive that life is just on easy mode 24/7. Ooh, can't go around saying that these days. You might get kicked off of YouTube, bro. You know, anytime we say on this channel, we say a sentence like this, there'll always be someone in the comments saying, oh, Taylor and all the guys over here, you know, girls don't have it so easy. It's real difficult. I mean, this is a lady sitting here admitting exactly what we talk about on the channel. These ladies out here want to pretend like dating is hard and they've got it so difficult. Guys, it's recruit difficulty. It really is. You see those comments all around on these videos and stuff like this about the ladies living on recruit difficulty? And the reason why everyone puts that comment there is because it's damn well true. Let's continue. She also has rich parents and has never worked a day in her life. She dropped out of uni after 1 year because it was too difficult, but she stayed in London where I live. She has been a socialite / model ever since. She lives off of her parents' money and Instagram brand deals. Don't get me wrong, I love her, but she is so detached from how normal people live and she doesn't realize. She gets... I mean, look at this. She gets free stuff constantly and gets away with everything just because of how she looks. Wow, isn't that a bit of an interesting truth bomb? You gotta be careful of saying stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Goodness me. I'm a bit jealous of her and she knows that, but I never take it out on her and she is still a great person and friend to me. Anyway. We have been clubbing a lot of times, and nearly every time I leave with zero self-esteem left. She likes to go to fancy clubs, but I don't enjoy them. When we go out to these clubs in Mayfair, she would always get in, but I would sometimes get turned down or charged way more money than her for entrance. I'd only ever get in if I went with her. Almost all women inside are skinny models, and I can't get into racial territory on YouTube. The funny part about this is, gentlemen, is women are in competition with each other. Okay, they absolutely are. And to pretend otherwise, man, it's like girls will want to say, oh, I don't care if a guy has no girls chasing him. In fact, I would prefer a guy where no other women are interested. I'm sure you've all heard that, right? Where ladies say, oh, I just want a man who's going to be all mine and he's just going to commit to me and he's not going to talk to other girls. If you're a guy and you fit that criteria, please believe less girls are going to like you as a consequence, if any, are going to like you at all. Right? It's just so backwards. Like, the difference between reality and what people say is so huge. Especially with girls. Gentlemen, like, if you want to take any sort of dating advice, we've been over this many times on the channel. You want to take dating advice, you want to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, man, you're better off literally just doing the exact opposite of what these people tell you. And now, I have to preface this every single time. I'm not saying that to be rude to the people. All I'm saying is that the advice is just ineffective. You can follow it, you can choose to ignore reality if you want to, gentlemen, but we all know it bites you in the backside, it really does. Let's continue. She would never leave me outside the club, but she didn't realize how upsetting and draining it was. If you're an unattractive girl with attractive friends, you'll know what I'm talking about. The way men truly do not give a care about anything you say, and how they completely ignore you and don't even look in your direction. Gentlemen, can we just get maybe like 1 cup worth of sympathy? Just a single cup. Okay, we as men, we know that situation perfectly well. You want to come to men and say, oh, you want to come to, you know, and come with the idea that, oh, woe is me, I don't get any attention from the opposite gender. That is how most men feel. Most men, if you talk to a girl, oh, you're a creep by default, right? Because what defines a creep, gentlemen? A creep is someone who she is not attracted to. You can have the exact same creepy behaviors and put them on an unattractive man and an attractive man and get them both to approach the same lady. And the guy, they'll both have creepy behaviors, but the guy who's attractive, oh, he's just quirky. He's just shy. He's just interesting. He's strange, you know, but I like that about him. You see, it'll be taken as some sort of interesting character quirk rather than a detrimental one like being creepy. Okay, so when ladies want to come and say, oh, you know, I have it so rough because men don't pay me attention. First of all, you are getting significantly more attention by default anyway than the opposite gender will ever. Even if you're an unattractive girl, you are going to get far more attention from men than vice versa, typically. The other thing about it is that even if you're, let's just say, in a very bad situation, physical-wise, like men, it's not as if people are going to care about your situation because men are in that situation the entire damn time. Let's keep going. The worst thing is how oblivious she is. She will try and include me, but doesn't seem to realize that the new friends we made aren't listening to anything I say and have no interest in me at all. Sometimes I am stuck talking to the least attractive one in the boys' friend group who clearly doesn't want to be talking to me. Especially in these Mayfair clubs, the men are nearly all arrogant, and because they're rich, they think they deserve a 10 out of 10 even if they aren't attractive. So I just get treated like dirt by them. We would often get invited to men's tables, and the whole night would be me sitting there completely ignored while all of these men spoke to her and only bought her drinks. Guys, I mean, like, what more information do you need to hear? And, you know, you've got to ask yourself the question, which is, I think this is something we talked about at the beginning of this video. Getting the videos kind of blurred together here, gentlemen. Often I record them back to back and schedule them in, but goodness me, what the hell was I saying here? Oh yeah. So on the topic of situationships, right? You've got to ask yourself, okay, this very attractive girl, she's not single, right? She's probably seeing some guy, or she's probably seeing, you know, a few guys. And she, here's the thing, she will probably be chasing a guy in her life wanting his commitment. And the attractive one I'm talking about, right? And the attractive one is probably, you know, she'll probably be having a cry about him throughout the week. Oh, why won't this one guy commit to me? Why doesn't he seem to care about me? All of this kind of stuff. That is a situation that she is likely in. But at the same time as crying about, oh, how come this guy won't commit to me and how come this guy won't commit to me, she is still actively out here trying to source more men. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, I've got a guy at home, but I'm still going out here trying to get guys. Why doesn't the guy at home, and I use the word home to kind of say a situationship, why isn't he committing to me? Yeah, I'm trying to get all the other guys' attention. Yeah, I'm kind of, I've got multiple men going on at the same time, but why isn't he committing to me? I don't know about you, gentlemen, but I wouldn't be committing to someone like that at all. That just makes absolutely no sense to me. But let's continue. Yeah, we would often get invited to men's tables. I went to a less fancy club last week with a few more normal friends, and it was so much fun, and we actually had a good time, and I didn't get my self-esteem crushed. How can I make her understand that going out with her is usually not a fun time for me? Too long didn't read. My friend is much more attractive than me, and going out with her is depressing, and she doesn't realize how ignored I feel. Gentlemen, any sympathy? We're going around with the, you know, collecting the sympathy, guys. Anyone want to give any? No? Interesting. All right, we're going to be taking a look at another article here, gentlemen, as I pull up something interesting for us to look at. This one is titled, "Don't put pressure on yourself to date a guy just because he's nice. A nice, decent human, and you're so used to men's poor behavior." And we're going to scroll up and kind of read it together here. Girls will say, oh, I'm so sick of putting up with men's poor behavior. You know, woe is me, I go through all of these situations, and how come it just seems like every guy I attract, they always seem to be this terrible guy who doesn't want to invest in me. He's always emotionally unavailable. He's manipulative. He's the A word and stuff like that. How come I always seem to attract guys like that? On the last video, the video before this, we talked extensively about that, gentlemen. And the thing that we all know is that these ladies are out here choosing those men. Okay, so let's just preface that by saying that this woman is in this situation because of her crappy decisions. Let's continue. As women are so used to a-holes that we always second guess ourselves and feel bad if we let go of a decent guy. In this case, I'm not referring to a fake, manipulative, self-proclaimed nice guy who secretly just wants fun, but actually decent men who have no red flags. However, just because a man is decent does not mean that you have to date him. If you like him, great, go for it. But if he's nice but you're not particularly attracted to him, he doesn't have much sense of humor, and there's nothing you find outstanding or remarkable about him, you do not have to force yourself to date him. That is absolutely true, ladies. You don't have to date any man. You can date a whole bunch of men. You can thank society for this, by the way. You can date as many men as you want. You can date as little men as you want. It is totally up to you. And the funny part about that is, you know, you can go out here and you can make all of these decisions. You don't have to commit to any man if you don't want to. You know, you don't have to be submissive. You don't have to do anything. But understand, that comes with a set of consequences. And those consequences for the ladies usually turn out to be quite upsetting. Okay? See, we as guys, we can get by with our hobbies. We can find fulfillment in other things. But let me tell you this, gentlemen. A girl who gets older, and, you know, she's gotten to her older years, and she's still not married, still hasn't secured that ring, still hasn't got children. you know, girls can say what they want while they're in the younger years. Oh, I don't want a family. I don't want this. I don't want that. I'm totally happy just being by myself. That's totally cool. Great. It'll work for some women, I'm sure. Have fun, okay? But these ladies who will say this, oftentimes they're the same ladies who will turn around at 40 and 50 and they will lose their minds and go through very, very serious, mental issues. They'll go through a very hard time because what they've come to realize is, I wasted the only opportunity that I had to, number one, get children, or number two, get a guy I really liked to marry me. Okay, now that is a lot more of a damaging prospect to women because, one, women can't do it when they're older. That ship has gone and sailed. Men, on the other hand, we have a lot more time. Okay, but that ship has gone and sailed. And the other thing as well is, like, women, if they get into that situation, they will also have to work until they're quite old. If they have not got a husband or something like that who's kind of providing and doing all of these things, they will have to likely work until they're old as well. And then the other thing on top of that is they're never going to have kids. Now you'll get girls out here who'll say, "Oh, I hate kids. I don't like kids, man. I'll never have them." That's totally cool. But you better make sure you're 100% set on that decision because, as far as I'm concerned, life, if you're 60, 70, 80, it's like, it's going to get pretty lonely. Okay, and you got a lot of these girls out here, man, very, very unhappy when they get to this stage. But let's continue the article and wrap up today's video if we don't have time for another. You deserve to have a partner you feel is outstanding and not just he'll do. I've tried in the past to force attraction and almost felt like there's something wrong with me because I always complain about bad men, but here's such a good guy and I don't like him. I mean, how much clearer do we need to spell it out, really? I mean, the ladies are just telling on themselves. However, these brief relationships always end up being a waste of time. Don't feel like you have to date a guy because he's a nice guy, just because he's nice and into you if he has little else to offer you. There are men out there who are nice and that you can feel a genuine attraction to. Plus, many average men are nice because they have nothing else to offer. Don't settle. Yeah, guys, just average men out here. Don't settle. Always keep your head up, queens. Always be looking out for that 6 foot, 6-figure man to come along into your life. You can have the best of both. There's a very interesting thing that kind of goes around where, we as guys, look, if we're looking for a wife or a long-term girlfriend and stuff like that, we want to know that she's going to be loyal to us, and we also want to know that she's going to be fun to us. But the key is only to us. Men do not like girls who step out of the relationship and do all this stuff and kind of fish for other guys. You want to talk about Instagram? That's a great example of that, right? We as men are not interested in ladies who do that. Now, I don't speak for every man, but I think we can mostly agree that we do not want a girl whose foot is halfway out the door in the relationship, okay? And the funny part about that is, we want a girl who's fun, but only for us, if you see what I'm saying. Girls, on the other hand, he's got to be kind, he's got to be not so kind over here. Like, they have the same kind of thing, but it's like a lot more severe. Okay, because they want a guy who can go out and just absolutely dominate the world, but then they also want him to be attentive to our emotional needs and be able to provide X, Y, Z. Okay, those are things that can, like, they're very hard to satisfy in the same man, and a lot of these girls, as a consequence of trying to seek that out, are going to end up alone at the very end of it, okay? Now, let's see what else we got here to wrap up today's show with. And, gentlemen, this has been a bit of a longer episode, I believe. But, there was a fair bit to talk about in here. We're going to end it off with this quick story here. Maybe I'll just do a bit of a read-through, and you guys can leave your opinions of it. I'm not going to do too much annotating of this one. Just going to read it out. My wife has decided that she's incapable of working due to anxiety. We aren't wealthy, and my income can hold us over. What am I supposed to do? We're good as far as paying bills, but my income only gets us by. We aren't left with extra to save or invest. I've suggested therapy/psychologists, but there's always some excuse to avoid seeing them. She quit her job during the early stages of the something we can't talk about, and it hasn't worked since. Divorce is the last thing I want, but what in the hell am I supposed to do? She spends her days fantasizing about the future and spending money that we don't have. Anything I say about this becomes an ordeal where I am given permission to leave her. Anyone else been through this? I don't want to leave her. I want to help. Goodness me, this sentence, hard to read, really hard to read. Edit. Wow, some of you have made me think. And now that I'm thinking about the last year, here's what I'm proud of. I am within a semester of completing another degree in my field. I've received accolades at work for my accuracy. I fulfilled a dream with one of my hobbies by flying a plane and landing it. I was nominated for an award as a cinematographer. I'm very close to eliminating my debt. Hey, good on you, man. I made a difference when I donated my time time to a lower income school and a local music program that needs donations. I made 30% on my investments. I started a side business that brings in 500 to 800 per passive income per month. I built a fence, I built a shed, I fixed my roof and my appliances. That's good for you, man. Like I always love reading stories like this, kind of like where men are getting more on their feet and they got their side business and making money on their investments. Like I'm always super happy to see that. But gentlemen, we're going to have to wrap up today's show here. Leave your thoughts and comments to this one in particular if you're interested in doing so. But we're going to wrap up today's show there. So as always, guys, make sure you are in the locals and the Discord links. Both of those are totally free to join. If anything happens to the channel, you will be notified. Also, do not forget about the art competition. If you are an artist and you are interested in entering, the theme and the details will be linked in the description. There are cash prizes as well as having your social media shouted out every time that your artwork is used, if it is used. Late submissions will also be counted, but not towards the cash prizes, guys. So if you're interested in that, like I said, the link for that will be in the description. Ends September 30th, and all submissions must be sent to mrfiend11@gmail.com. Don't be sending it through Discord to me. Don't be sending it through any other of my social media, Instagram, none of that. Make sure you send it to mrfiend11@gmail.com. But gentlemen, we're going to leave today's show there. As always, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.